There is Shohei Ohtani, the designated hitter, due up third in the top of the first inning. For the first time in this World Baseball Classic, Japan, the quote-unquote road team. It's definitely not going to look, feel, or sound like it once this game gets going. Lars Nootbaar leading off in front of Kensuke Kondo. Tetsuro Yamada in at second base again. Yuhei Nakamura behind the plate and batting ninth. The hottest hitter, perhaps in the 5 spot, new Boston Red Sox, Masataka Yoshida.
Well, Shohei Ohtani at the bottom, 5 for 10 with 3 doubles, 4 RBIs in 3 games. And you talk about Yoshida, my goodness, clutch all the way. But Will Sure, 20-year-old from Western Australia, from Perth, same city as our good friend Liam Hendricks. His curveball is his best pitch. He's got tremendous bite downwards and plenty of weak contact, especially in the air when guys are lunging and trying to reach that breaking ball. But without that, Steve, he needs to go and set up the fastball. And not forgetting, he's got a pretty good swing and miss ability. In terms of what he needs to do here today, I think it's quite simple. He needs to control counts, get back into counts, and close out innings, which is something his manager, Dave Nilsson, shared with me today. I want guys to go out there and just take care of finishing those innings.
Appeared in the first game, the upset victory over Korea. 2/3 of an inning, didn't give up a run through 20 pitches. Dave Nilsson said he works around the strike zone. And he gets strike one to Lars Nootbaar to begin the game. The winner of this game takes Pool B and advances to the quarterfinals. Japan already has a spot by virtue of the Czech Republic loss to Korea earlier today. Now it's just, are you the 1 seed or the 2 seed? For the Aussies, a country that has never been to the quarterfinals at the World Baseball Classic, they have as good a chance as ever here in 2023.
They can taste it, just trying to just get over the hump.
Strike 2 to Lars Taylor Tatsuji Nootbaar, named after his grandfather and his mother's side. Tatsuji Inokira, 84 years young, came to watch his grandson wear the Samurai Japan uniform at the World Baseball Classic. And Lars has become a now international sensation. Sheriff's 2-2 misses away. We're full. Sheriff was signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks back in April of 2021. Has yet to appear in an affiliated minor league game. The 20-year-old ready to work. 3-2 pitch, a low and outside. He thought it was strike 3, but it's ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Nootbaar. The defensive alignment for Dave Nilsson and Team Australia. Again, they've won the first 2 games of their tournament. They're not changing a darn thing.
Not afraid. I mean, this team just has the fighting spirit to know that they're that close to accomplishing something that they've never done in this tournament, and they're not letting down at all.
Good breaking ball. You see it there. For strike 1 to Kensuke Kondo, who has been a dynamic presence at the top of this lineup, setting the table in front of his old teammate and NPB, Shohei Ohtani.
I will place Kondo right up there, Stephen, in terms of the guys that have really impressed me here. That quickness to the zone, controlling the bats, controlling the zones, protecting the plate with great discipline.
Takes a second strike. So the first 11 years of his NPB career with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. You're a .307 hitter. He was a free agent this offseason. He has a new home in NPB. And Fukuoka, SoftBank Hawks power. here in Japan. 0-2 pitch. He ropes it into right field. First two aboard.
That's what I'm talking about. What ability he has to control the strike zone, control the swings, and bat to baseball skill.
Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani-san back in a Samurai Japan uniform for the first time in a major international competition in more than 6 years. Swings through, strike one.
There it is, 70 miles per hour. The ability to have that slow speed and get it to the plate requires a lot of tweaking with your hands.
This is a tremendous experience for the 20-year-old left-hander. And I'm sure Dave Nilsson, the Australian club they watched last night. The 0-1 pitch taken high and deep to right field. Ohtani has blown the roof off the Tokyo Dome. Shohei Ohtani with a 3-run blast in the first inning, 448 feet.
Well, if you want it or expect it, early drama, you are in the right place. Somebody got a nice souvenir. What a shot. What a treat. Majestic.
Almost hit himself in the face on the video board there in right field.
That is a fool me once, but not twice without breaking ball. There's absolutely no way.
He told us before the first game he wants to entertain. Murakami, he goes high in the air to right field, but that's caught by Aaron Whitefield on the warning track.
Miss by point of contact, maybe by a couple of inches, but that is a nice pass, perhaps the best pass he's had through the zone here.
Well, after his single at the end of the last game, his first hit of the World Baseball Classic, we wondered, could that help him break through? He's been putting so much pressure on himself to perform in this tournament, so his teammates, including Shohei, led by Shohei in fact, tried to loosen him up. Shohei got the baseball from his single and said, here you go, here's your first hit, and got a chuckle out of Murakami.
I'll go back to simple things he's done, Steven. Ground out to move somebody from second to third. Sack fly, a couple of walks. All those things mount up and build your confidence. The results will come. He is a prolific home run hitter.
Everybody wants some content with that home run ball.
Is that not a sign of how respectful they are with each other? Saying, I trust everybody around me, and I want to share the moment. You speak about entertaining. Shohei has no idea how much he's entertaining that crowd right now.
This place in this country, as special as any in the game. Yoshida wears the 3-2 pitch between the shoulder blades, so another base runner with one out. Stone cold on that home run swing too.
Stone cold.
Always.
Joyful. There's a lot going on in that mind. But the prevalent thing is enjoying the game and having fun. Today, he's working on his pitching in the outfield. It was the day to go up and do all the work he does pre-start.
There were thousands of fans who showed up early for batting practice, thinking that Ohtani was going to do his work.
Hey,
there.
They saw it.
With the arm.
And they saw it with a swing.
In the game. Kazuma Okamoto. First baseman. Strike two from Sheriff.
Here's what we're talking about pregame. Yeah, that's your slugger, by the way. His load on his physically is unmatched with anybody in the game of baseball anywhere in the world. And it's elite.
And that billboard, it's going to be up there in right field. He's just staring at himself, basically.
Well, we said he had been doing some scouting.
He
did good.
He's watching everything. I'm at the billboard, not Ohtani in the dugout right now. Okamoto, a star for the Yomiuri Giants, called the Tokyo Dome home. He strikes out swinging. Perhaps that will settle the young left-hander for Team Australia.
It is something that he needs. Settle down. Get back to those counts, but also go to that changeup. It'll spread the zone a little bit more. It'll give the hitters a much different look in terms of the plane.
Attaboy. Dave Nelson says to Will Sheriff, who's hoping to go longer. He's coming out here in the top of the first inning. 3-0 Japan, still in the top of the first inning. Shohei Ohtani with his first World Baseball Classic home run off the video board in right field. Luke Wilkins will come in to relieve Will Sheriff. And his night starts with a strike to Tatsuro Yamada. When Japan won the gold medal in the most recent Summer Olympic Games, it was Yamada that led the way. He's named tournament MVP. 350 home runs, 7 driven in 5 games.
And for Wilkins' second appearance, he threw Saturday against China. 23 pitches. And Mr. Nielsen needed somebody to just shut the door soon and give him some length. Something he mentioned to me today. Length.
Fouled away 1-2. Now, Australia as a national team has some fairly recent international experience in pushing Team Japan in competition. The 2017 World Baseball Classic had a lead late, eventually lost 4-1. 2019 Premier 12. Had a lead late. Lost 3-2. Walked in the winning run. Well, that could have been strike 3. Instead, it's ball 2. And in that Premier 12 in 2019, Wilkins pitched against Japan and got tournament MVP Seiya Suzuki, who would have been on this team if not for an injury during spring training with the Chicago Cubs. Got him to ground out.
As you mentioned, Seiya Suzuki, we've seen his jersey sometimes hanging in their dugout. Left oblique injury. Suffered the first week of spring training. Kept him out of competition here.
Two-two. Lifted into left by Yamada, but it hangs up for Boyarsky coming in. Jose Mota and Steven Nelson here. Pool B on the line between Japan and Australia. Jose, you have known that man for a long time. Can you try to put into words what this experience is like for him?
Fulfilling.
Here's the starting lineup for Team Australia. 2-0, a chance to win the group, even though they're in an early deficit. Same lineup as the first 2 games when they beat Korea and knocked off China. Another game, another Japanese phenom starting.
You're on for a treat. 24 years old from Okayama, 5'10", about 170 pounds. My goodness, most prolific strikeout pitcher in NPB. And 93-95 with that fastball splitter, which he can manipulate in so many ways in the zone and down in the zone. Curveball and a cut fastball, a lot of pitching savvy in this youngster.
He is the best pitcher in NPB right now. The 2-time reigning Sawamura Award winner. Spike the 0-2 to the captain of Team Australia, Tim Kennelly.
They're scouting on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Drive, as he does so well with that back leg. Elevate with that fastball and spike that splitter, because the repertoire is premier.
Kennelly cannot hold up. That's 3, and strikeout number 1 for Yamamoto. Playing behind Yamamoto. Let's go from first to third. Okamoto, Yamada, Nakano, and Murakami. And then left to right in the outfield, Yoshida, Nutbar, and Kondo. And Nakamura has the duties behind the plate.
Let's keep an eye on this too, as he has learned and matured as a pitcher. Watch Yamamoto's bottom part of his body as he now slide steps from that windup. Something you don't see very often. He used to have a higher leg kick, threw his arm slot out of whack. They're talking about let's prevent some injuries too, because your arm's not catching up. So very unique slide step he uses.
The designated hitter is Alex Hall. The 2-0 pitch to him, grounded to second. Yamada is there. Quickly 2 down.
I can personally tell you I have not seen or heard of a slide step thrown from the windup. But the fastball usage around 43% of that splitter. Why not? As he can manipulate it in so many ways. Curveball, he'll show the back of his hand to the hitter. The cutter keeps hitters on, especially on the left side, and the slider.
Now, the man who's been the most dangerous in the World Baseball Classic so far for Team Australia, Robbie Glendenning, the second baseman in the Kansas City Royals organization, also plays for Melbourne. Swings through a strike. And for Melbourne, his manager, former big leaguer, and one of the greatest to ever do it out of Australia in Peter Moylan.
Now a colleague of ours, right? Broadcaster soon?
Oh, no, he's in the biz.
He's been doing it, yeah.
That's right down the middle. Strike 2.
Will be heard more around baseball.
Not just the two-time reigning Sawamura Award winner, last 2 MVPs in the Pacific League. One-two spoiled. First to win back-to-back Pacific League MVPs since Ichiro.
And we're talking about a pitcher and not a position player. So we see a pitcher win it. There's no argument.
2-2.
So as a hitter, what do you try to do with this 2-time Pacific League MVP? Well,
you tell me.
Minimize your zone because he can beat you in so many different ways, and offer up a prayer.
Two-two, froze Glendenning. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Yamamoto, and it's still 3-0. Yes, if you're a fan who catches Shohei Ohtani's first World Baseball Classic home run, you're going to have to talk to some folks. But Jose Mota, I cannot get over the scene in the initial aftermath where the ball was just politely and calmly passed around, everyone partaking in sharing this history.
What a precious memento, not just for her, but as you mentioned, just to have the warmness and the heart to say, I want to share this with everybody around me, and you're all a part of this. You all came to see Shohei Ohtani, and why not share that? You will not see that very often.
And eventually made its way back. And it's just special, special, special place. Three 0 Japan on top of Australia here in the top of the second inning. At the bottom of the order, the shortstop Nakano in the 8th spot, followed by Nakamura, the catcher, before turning it back over to Lars Nootbaar. We've seen some big innings start for this Japanese offense. Here with the number 8 spot. Fillets one to left field. Down for a base hit to lead off.
We were just talking about it. Where there's the walk, the pressure they put on the defense, they slap the ball around, but they put together so many solid at-bats and passes through the zone, and the ability to spoil some good pitches like that one. They're a pesky, man. Love to see more of that from left-handed batters at the big league level.
Nakamura showed bunt, had Darryl George charging in from third base. The 2021 Japan Series MVP.
This is just the way they play the game. Up by 3. They're in already. But this is just staying with your game.
Try it again. This is for ball 2. A 14-year NPB veteran. Played every one of those seasons for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Taking off is Nakano. He has second base. Saw Robbie Perkins get Tommy Edman to end the game against Korea. Couldn't get Nakano.
Throughout the tournament, they have taken the best leads. Obviously, they're more familiar with the turf, the timing, the ground, and the lead at first base, and they continue to get very good jumps in stealing bases.
Nakamura wants to bunt. His
It's giving you a free out.
The versatile right-hander for Australia delivers the 3-1. A bunt to the right side. Mission accomplished for the Japanese catcher, with Nakano moving up to third.
There's a sign of Mr. Kuriyama. You know, he has these players trained knowing that you have a responsibility. It might change as the game progresses, but the main thing is a united game.
Newbar led off the game with a walk, came around to score on Ohtani's home run. Those two have struck up a quick and strong bond together. And every single Japanese player, from Ohtani on down the roster, coaches and support staff, have embraced the first American to play for the Japanese national team. And you can hear, so too have the fans. Newbar takes the 1-1 to center field. That scores Nakano. 4-0 Japan.
What a formula. Get number 8 on. Steal the base, sacrifice, and leave it up to the big boys at the top. Keep grinding.
6 for 12 now. It's definitely doing the grinding. A couple stellar plays in the outfield as well. And the team has taken notice of how he plays the game as well. Just this furious energy.
He's got some fire in him too. Not happy about getting hit recently too. Hit by a pitch.
One ball, one strike to Kondo.
One of my observations here, Steven, is against Team Japan, how is so tough to defend them. And it could be the power guy, and it could be your contact guy. But you see more straight-up defenses in this tournament against Japan than against anybody else.
Newbar, he'll try for second. Perkins double pumped on the throw. Another stolen base. The second of the second for Japan.
Information gathered, as Steven mentioned, the double pump, but we talk about scouting reports and we see all the graphs and all the charts and all those things that are passed along to a hitter, but there's also that number. It says this guy is slow to the plate, run.
Hideki Kuriyama's club has been putting pressure on pitchers and defenses the whole tournament. That's into the gap in right center field. Newbar being waved around third. He will score without a play.
They are on a mission and sending a clear message. This is our turf. This is how we play. And we dominate. Trying Gonna go unbeaten here in this pool. It's a rhythmic offense, if you think about this.
On the first base open, Dave Nilsson not going to mess around with the unicorn. So no second souvenir for you. I'm sorry. You have to settle for the first one. Munetaka Murakami, the Central League MVP last year in NPB, most valuable player, nearly hit a home run his first time up. Tried here in his second plate appearance, but he swung through a strike.
He's standing next to this man down the field, and he's quite linear. I mean, it's not just how wide he is. He is a tall, well put together young man.
A decent pitch from Wilkins just off the plate. 1-1. Pat Hoberg calling balls and strikes for this one. Kuti Suarez at first, Adam Hamry at second, and Shun Jung Chang at third. Ramon De Jesus heading up the replay, which is done on site here outside the Tokyo Dome. Checking back on second base. Kondo is fine. '56 home runs last year for Murakami. Record for Japanese-born players that was held since 1964 by the legendary home run king, O Sadaharu. Little chopper, they were shifting on him. Oh, nice flip to second out of the glove of Glendening. That's pretty.
Take some athletic ability in creating the right angles. And on top of that, the confidence to know that out of that glove, you got to go out there and follow through just like you're using your hand. Another good athletic play.
Of course, we highlighted the 2 home runs Glendening has with the bat, but a couple nice plays at second base, that flip, and then the heads-up tag to get Kang against Korea in a pivotal spot. At the corners now, Yoshida swings at a strike.
One thing to keep in mind, Stephen, is on the turf, you play your angles differently. Your first step, when you come in, go inside the side, you anticipate the ball, sometimes even gaining velocity, and that's where you have to be aware where you are. You charge or not, and which angle you take going back and sideways.
Good block by Perkins behind the plate, 1-1. For Yoshida, it's not just that he's 5 for 8, which is .625 batting average. And he's driven in 8 runs. He's been getting on base. He's been productive with his outs, sacrifices. Really strong performance so far in the World Baseball Classic. Really strong performance in the World Baseball Classic, but that's not going to be deep enough. Whitefield does right by the fans in center field. That ends the second inning. 2 more runs for Japan. Kachan and Kondo with back-to-back run-scoring knocks. Lars Nootbaar stays hot at the top of the Japan order, helping them score twice in the top of the second inning to take a 5-0 lead. And one of the traditions when you're watching a game here is after each inning, the players who were most productive in the last half, they get an ovation, and each player returns the favor to the fans here. Now, Lars Nootbaar doesn't speak Japanese. He was trying to practice with his mom before coming to the World Baseball Classic. Said he only can learn so much within a month, so he's been relying on Ippei Mizuhara. But Hideki Kuriyama, the manager for Samurai Japan, said, hey, if you're going to be on this team, I just want you to learn the words of the national anthem. And Lars listened, and so now the two stand next to each other as the national anthem is being played. and they sing together.
I asked Mr. Kuriyama about that today, saying I respect how much we see you sing your national anthem. And he led to the story of, well, yeah, Lars next to me. It's a deal that we have here about him at least learning, but I think it's just part of your assimilation, Steve, and being accepted and being able to just say, I fit. And his managers say, you're a big part of this, my friend. Have fun with it.
Just one of the many, the countless wonderful stories that are being shared throughout this World Baseball Classic all around the world. This game, such a connector. Darryl George, such a presence for Australian baseball. 2-2 count against Yamamoto. Fouls another one back. I had a conversation with George on the field pregame. I mean, fun personality to be around. We've sensed that these first few days of the tournament. Just asked him, hey, what's the vibe like? He said, why not us? You know, mate, people are talking about us like we're some Cinderella. We're a really good baseball team. We have a lot of guys on this roster who have been slept on in their pro careers. So we're not surprised by what we've seen so far. Lost the bat. Seen that twice in this tournament from George. He's gonna get hit by a pitch a couple of times, and each time he's always laughing at himself. See?
Little prayer swing there, as you have to do so often against Yamamoto because of this. Oof. He'll throw that splitter, or has sometimes a sinking action, and a lot of hitters come back describing it as a sinker. Well, it's not, but also the ability to make it go even straighter and look a splitter, changeup.
The speedy Aaron Whitefield takes a strike. 26-year-old center fielder. Like Glendening, plays for the Melbourne Aces, but in terms of a Major League Baseball perspective, in the Angels organization. Debuted in the big leagues with the Minnesota Twins back in 2020. A little cup of coffee with the Halos last year in the regular season. One-two foul back.
Pre-game. Hey, I remember you. Different colors, different country, different continent, but we also wear red.
And no matter how much time you spend with another player in a clubhouse, Jose, that bond's forever.
Forever. I mean, baseball fraternity lasts a long, long time.
Fought the 1-2 pitch right to the first baseman, Okamoto, for the second out.
You know, Stephen, you're talking about all the wonderful gestures and beautiful things we've seen in the treatment of people, one to each other. Well, to me, nothing's going to top you sharing a home run ball. It's not going to top it. I'm just who they are.
I think,
you know,
I mean,
and we lived it.
The more you talk about it, Jose, the more I'm convinced you want a picture with the ball. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll make its way up here.
I see right through your commentary, my friend.
You see that changeup I just threw?
I hung back on it. Rickson Wingrove, young slugging first baseman.
So think you're a hitter, right? And you're watching Yoshinobu on the mound, and you're timing and saying he's got velocity, he's got the splitter, I don't want to fall behind, he's got a curveball, he's got a cutter, he's got a slider. And then the minute he starts, you have to be ready, because it's not a whole lot of leg lifting going on.
It's different than what the hitter's used to. So from a timing mechanism standpoint, it just throws it off.
And hitting is about rhythm and finding comfort and having a timing to get started and then have a trigger.
Yamamoto strikes out Wingrove. He's got 4 through 2 innings. Whoever wins this game wins the pool. And Japan has already locked up a spot in the quarterfinals, which will be played here the 15th and 16th. Australia has not done that yet. They've never been to the quarterfinals. So from an Aussie perspective, as Okamoto is leading off, and he flies out to center field, provided Whitefield does his job, and he does. You're looking at the next and last game for them in pool play. That is the early game tomorrow against the Czech Republic. So Dave Nilsson says, look, tonight against Japan, we're going to try and beat the #1 team and try and win this thing. But if there's a point in the game where it starts to slip away, you may see Australia downshift and begin to prepare for the quick turnaround in the game tomorrow against the Czech Republic.
Because it's all about the arms and mapping out what you would consider to be the most important game. And that's where you go from planning one thing for one game, and before you know it, you got to just put the brakes on and say, wait a minute, there's something more important coming up.
Strike one.
Cannot waste your best arms.
Tetsudo Yamada flew out his first time up. He fouls back to 1-1. So even if Australia loses tonight, still in a very good position, as they'll take on the darlings of Pool B, the Czech Republic, led by Pavel Hadin.
Tough loss for them today. But a big one for Team Korea.
Korea has to win out to stay alive. One down, they'll have China tomorrow in the nightcap. Get out of the way. Yamada, a pretty unique skill set, just the combination of power and speed. The first player to ever lead NPB in home runs and steals in a single season. He's called out on strikes. Little K strut from Wilkins as well. There's two down here in the third.
It's been about those spinners in that inner half. Those front door breaking balls have been prevalent throughout this whole pool play. I mean, on a consistent basis from each one of the ball clubs. Steven, is it one of those now new design pitches in baseball? Which I like it a lot. And I had this conversation with Mike Sorsha about it. Mike, why not more front door breaking balls on righties? He says because the margin of error is way too much. It could slide right into the middle of home plate way too easily. I go, okay, here's how I counter. Who's working on that in bullpens? It's a visual. Front hip. If you throw a two-seam at a lefty, right, as a righty. Left hip, right hip, make it run. Work on it. It's got to work. And who doesn't hang a slider? And sliders are supposed to be where? Down and away. Still get hung.
Nakano got the bat on that one too somehow, but Whitefield tracks it down. Wilkins goes 1-2-3. And we're in the middle of the third. Still a 5-0 game.
Here we go with Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the stuff he's done so far with his fastball, averaging 94.9. And he has topped out at 96.4, 28 pitches, 19 first strikes. And a lot of them have been made by the hitters because he's just so hard to read.
retired this first 6 he's faced tonight. We've seen a lot of punch-outs here in Pool B in the World Baseball Classic. This is all time now. Have all happened this week. And the new record setter, the first game today, as the Korean staff.
Let's slow down and see this again. 18 Ks, 17 and 16. Pitching has been on here.
Seung Park had 8 by himself in 4 2/3 innings, despite 65 pitch limit here in round 1. It's ball 2. Logan Wade has been an ABL stud for a long, long time. Waves at strike 2. Wade spent 5 seasons in the Twins organization, 2012 to 2016. And he strikes out swinging. It's 2 in a row, 5 overall for Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Okay, special as well. You know, he said about how special this tournament is for him because he watched it when he was in elementary school. And I quote, he says, "I was watching Yu Darvish play in 2009 World Baseball Classic, and now I'm excited to play alongside him."
So you, not trying to tell you that you're getting old, but the last 2 starting pitchers for Team Japan. First pitch. Oh, look at that. The looper into left field gets through. And Robbie Perkins is aboard with a 1-out knock. Just beyond the diving Nakano. I'll show you another look at that. But Darvish has inspired the last 2 starting pitchers in Roki Sasaki, the 21-year-old, and Yamamoto, 24 years old, as Darvish, of course, closed out the title game in 2009 against Korea.
And no secret to anybody, he's also served as an inspiration to one Shohei Ohtani as a player here.
Now, in all seriousness, Yu has been a mainstay of Japanese baseball for a long, long time, and perhaps the leader on this World Baseball Classic team. How he has brought everybody together, tried to make everyone feel comfortable with one another.
He committed early to say, "I'm going to be a part of this." And you talk about a journey in a career in both continents that it's pretty incredible. Yeah. Nice ride he has successfully.
7 dominant seasons in MPB before jumping to the United States in Major League Baseball. There's a second strike to Ulrich Bojarski, left fielder and number 9 hitter. Yamamoto has to be careful with Bojarski. Swing and miss there, but big time power. There's the swing and miss.
It was tough to catch up to that 96, even though it was not even the most elevated fastball we've seen from him. But what happens, he has the ability to, as he releases, glove straight line because he has so much carry with that spin rate.
Top of the order in Tim Cannelli. Ask anybody except Tim Cannelli, and they'll tell you that the Aussie right fielder is the GOAT, the greatest of all time in the modern iteration of the ABL. Also a firefighter all time from the first family of baseball down under. Oh, one little soft grounder to Yamada at second base. Yamamoto has 2 strikeouts in each inning that he has pitched, all clean ones.
It's a beautiful thing, the history. Mr. Nagashima, Sadahara, oh, we've seen here every single game.
Yes.
Hideki Matsui, Godzilla, Ichiro Suzuki, 2,653 hits. Let's not forget about Hideo Nomo.
Let's show you the plaque of O Sadaharu, the home run king in Japan, 868 in 22 seasons. But you're right, Jose Mota. Hideo Nomo was the one who changed everything to Japanese baseball, participation in Major League Baseball. There's a leadoff base hit for Shohei Nakamura. To begin the top of the 4th inning, Japan already up 5 on Australia.
Hideo Nomo, most innings pitched by a Japanese-born player in the major leagues, 1,967 and 1/3. And Stephen, creative way of him finding his way to the United States, of which, you know, we can expand a little bit more during the game, but they found a way, and boy, did it pay off.
He retired from Kintetsu Buffaloes in NPB, signed a deal with the Dodgers. Dave Nilsson making a change. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher for Team Australia on the other side. After Nakamura led off the 4th with a single, it's top of the order due up for Japan. So Dave Nilsson calling on the lefty Blake Townsend, 21 years old, in the Seattle Mariners organization. Left the Mariners camp to be a part of Team Australia at the World Baseball Classic. That for a little frisbee in there for strike one.
But I'll tell you one thing. He has seen his share of lefties throughout this whole pool play. I want to look at his numbers. He should improve his hitting against lefties this season and the rest of his career. I mean, it's been one steady parade of left-handed pitchers against Luke Barr.
Townsend was asked if any concerns or hesitation leaving Mariners camp. He delivers the 1-1 to Newbar. That's high, 2-1. He said no. Look, when you're growing up in Australia playing this sport, you dream of a couple things. One's playing the big leagues, but the other's to play in the World Baseball Classic. And here he is pitching in a win, and you win the pool game against the best team in the world. That's Japan. He walks Dupar.
We talked about Sadahara and had the privilege again of seeing him today. And back in 2009 in San Diego, Stephen, I went out to meet him, greet him and shake his hand. And first thing he asked me, how was your father? I'm like, wow. Educated on baseball in the United States. Today, I show him the picture of San Diego in 2009. What does he ask me? How is your father? What an honor.
First and second, nobody out. Kensuke Kondo takes the ball. Yet not enough people in the United States as educated as they should be on the career of Osadaharu. A lot of ignorance and disrespect toward the 868 home runs being tossed around in recent days I've seen. 2 balls, no strikes on Kondo. And I just, instead of us talking about it, I'll just read some quotes from, I don't know, names people may have heard of. Frank Robinson. I'm sure he would have hit, would have hit 30 to 40 home runs a year in the United States. 30 home runs a year, adds up to over 600 home runs. And he'd do that if he played the same number of years here as he played there. Let's see, another one, Don Drysdale. Want to hear that one? He would have hit for average and power here. The park tailored to his swing. There's no telling how many he would have hit. He was always ready for anything we threw him. We were all impressed. Tom Seaver, he sure hit me.
Tom, terrific. What a soul.
3 balls, no strikes on the right fielder. That's outside. Bases loaded for Shohei Ohtani.
Here comes Shohei. Let's go take a look at what happened in the first inning. What he saw. First breaking ball way out. Stay centered. The reminders are there. Anchored. Way gone. 448 feet later.
Pep talk for Blake Townsend. This is a jam. For a young pitcher like Blake, an opportunity for invaluable experience.
Got a pretty decent fastball at 90.
Two balls, no strikes. Break outside, 3-0. He's got something in mind. Inside, ball 4, and the cell phones can come down for a moment. The bases loaded walk. An RBI for Ohtani.
It was the right intention with his fastball, 89, 90 miles per hour, to try to get Shohei on his heels and off the plate, but just way too much discipline.
Fans been asking, where is Munetaka Murakami? Take strike 1. When will the slugger who hit 56 show up in this tournament? Those are the questions he has been hearing.
Notice a different strategy. Got away from the fastball and spun 2 quickly for strikes on Murakami.
1 for 12 in the tournament with a single. Bases loaded, nobody out. Townsend's 0-2 pitch. Swung through and missed. The 7th strikeout of the World Baseball Classic for Murakami.
Yeah, put that one on Perkins. And the nice target he's able to go out there and consistently show and moving at the last minute. Look how nicely he spreads those legs and say, hey, follow me right here towards this middle of my body.
Townsend not out of the woods yet. Ball 1 to Yoshida. Big swing. Big miss. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. The left fielder has driven in 8 already in this World Baseball Classic. Great chance for more. Nearly got him. 3-1. Yoshida on a line to Glendening, who flips to short. They double him up and get out of the bases loaded jam. Robbie Glendening right on the spot. Japan does score 1. The lead is now 6 in the middle of the 4th.
Tokyo sky. And it's over. Australia tastes defeat.
That was the 2017 World Baseball Classic, Australia and Japan. Got a solid start from Tim Atherton, who was one of the co-captains for this 2023 roster before he had to step away from the tournament. Aussies took an early lead. Went into the 7th, knotted at 1 apiece, ultimately lost the game 4-1. See the Aussies' history at the World Baseball Classic. Something they've never done, Jose, is get out of the first round. They can change that here in the next 24 hours.
On the verge.
It'd be a comeback win tonight against Japan, which would be stunning at this point. Or win tomorrow. Win a game, and you're in to the quarterfinals.
You must have listened to Dave Nielsen's speech, because that's what he shared with me today.
Alex Hall popped up and out of play.
Yeah, Aussie manager said, I told the guys there's 30 hours in the window right now. You're going to play 2 games. And you're going to find out. So just perspective. Think 30 hours. And we're going to do something that we have not done before.
And forget earlier today, that was the message, the conversation last November when they got together for their camp. As we await the 1-2 from Yamamoto to Hall, that's high 2-2. He said there's going to be a night game against Japan and a quick turnaround noon game against the Czech Republic, and that game is going to decide our World Baseball Classic fate. They were having that conversation in November, and it's in front of them here and now. 96 just out of the zone. Yamamoto wanted to strike 3, didn't get it. Hall gets under the 3-2. Coming in is Yoshida. 1 down. The rest restrictions, in addition to the pitch limitations, the pitch count 65 for the first round. You can go past that to finish in AB. The rest restrictions, though, that's a hard cap. Once you get to 50, that means you have to sit for 4 days, not game days, just days. So Yamamoto getting close to 50. Pitch 47, strike 1 to Glendening. Hideki Kuriyama keeping an eye on that, as one of his aces continues to work in the bottom of the 4th with a 6-run lead.
Think about how big the outing by Miyagi was. Oh, efficient, economical, and sharp. A lefty, Hiroya Miyagi, in his last outing.
One, 2, Glendening misses high. Yamamoto, a quadruple crown winner in pitching 2 years in a row. It's the first time that's happened. Most wins, best ERA, most strikeouts, and the highest winning percentage all in the same year. 2 seasons in a row. That's just mean. Strike 3 swinging. Number 7 for Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
This guy's a surgeon out there. Has the ability to just keep everything on the same plane, and before you know it, it's diving, it's sinking, it's exploding, and it's disappearing.
So yeah, super easy to hit a baseball.
Ask me about it.
Cleanup spot with the third baseman, George, who struck out swinging in the second, lost his bat. '21 Helms Award winner in the Australian Baseball League. Grounds the 1-0 foul. Helms Award given to the most valuable player.
I have a picture with that hat, by the way.
You did. You nailed it.
Official.
Yeah.
Looking for one more, Steven. One more. Help me find one more. And the baseball. If you have any connections, get that baseball up here, too. The Shohei home run.
Ooh. 96 almost got him on the hands. 2-1.
Again, through 2 innings, he had topped out at 96.4.
In Japan, George, back in Japan, played semi-independent ball in 2016. The Niigata. Takes strike 2. Didn't like it. And George for 1 year anyway, got to know Yoshinobu Yamamoto in Oryx. George was an attendee at Buffalo's autumn camp in the fall of 2016. The 2017 season playing in the developmental league team. It's a minor league affiliate. To explore the country, learn some Japanese. Turns 30 years old in 2 days. Stays alive.
Gets a piece of it, and gets a piece of him too, right on the ribs.
He's been wearing baseballs all tournament. George and Yamamoto actually, every time they see each other, get a picture together.
That's pretty neat.
I'm sure Yamamoto will give him some grief for that strikeout in the second. Got a chance for another one here in the fourth.
You see him gesturing? Split. Just a reminder. They don't have to be reminded on what to and who to pull for. We just saw 97 miles an hour. Starting to get loose, approaching 60 pitches.
Takahashi, the left-hander, almost set to come into the game. The hope is Yamamoto can finish the fourth, but George not going away. Here's the 9th pitch. Got him. A smile for his former teammate from George to Yamamoto. He's got 2 Ks in every inning, 8 total. Mark at 8 after 4. A lot of changes for Team Australia ahead of the top of the 5th inning. Japan up 6. Liam Spence will come in for Darryl George at 3rd. Jordan McCardle will replace the captain, Tim Kennelly, in right. And Liam Doolan will take the mound. Remember, for Australia, win one of these next 2 games, and you're through to the quarterfinals for the first time in your World Baseball Classic history. And given the changes we just went through, Jose, it appears Dave Nilsson has started preparations for tomorrow's game against the Czech Republic.
The time is now. Who can blame him? He knows you got to go out there and get rid of that first plan. But Australia, Czech Republic tomorrow is huge. Line things up the way you believe. It's going to give you the best chance to have success and win. And get past this first round.
Well, some may be watching, be like, 6 runs, 5th inning. It's not insurmountable.
Well, look who you're playing against and tell me what kind of freedoms and allowances this team has given to anybody on the mound. Being realistic, it's a former catcher. He knows. There's a giant out there you're battling with tonight.
Nastiest pitching staff. That was pretty gross from Doolan, but missed the zone. And it's a leadoff walk to Okamoto. Strike 1 to Tetsuro Yamada. Yamada with the fly ball, left center field. Whitefield feeling for the wall. He's on the track and he makes the catch. Doolan currently in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. Righty signed last August. This is inside to Nakano.
There's a lot of Dodgers all over the many different pools. And one of the people way behind everybody and encouraging players to go, manager Dave Roberts.
It's inside again. And Doolan, I need all my NAIA fans to stand up. Pitch for Tennessee Wesleyan in the spring of 2022. Can get to the NAIA semifinals. Is yet to pitch in the minor leagues. He's getting signed with a major league organization last August. .6'5", 230, 24 years old. 2-1. Nakano held up. 3 balls, 1 strike.
You can see the pretty live arm at 93. And with that frame and ball coming out of that window and that delivery, things will be polished up and hopefully he'll have a nice career.
Walk the shortstop. First and second now.
The next batter, catcher, Shohei Ohtani.
Sixth walk of the game for Australian pitching. One of them intentional to Shohei Ohtani. Sack bunt for Nakamura in the second. A single in the third. Or the fourth, rather. Perkins. Blocked it, corralled it. Runners can't go. Strike two.
It seems to me like Lars Nootbaar hits in every inning. Doesn't it?
I wonder if this will be his last AB. You know, we've seen Hideki Kuriyama. He also, if he senses the game is out of reach in favor of his club, start giving some rest to starters.
He has brought a lot to this club and a lot to this nation. And the baseball fans just did not know about the great personality and the skilled player.
Doolin with another 1-2 for the Japanese catcher. A good block from Perkins. Sliced out of play. Fought off 93 from Doolin.
And heavy in on the hands. Talk about polishing with experience and obviously some professional coaching, exposure, and reps. Doolin is going to get better.
The other way for Nakamura. The 2-2 pitch goes into the right field corner. Okamoto will score. A stand-up double drives in another run for Team Japan.
You open the door with those walks and they just waste no time. And once again, bottom of the order, quite occupied. And for Nakamura, what did he learn from that heavy fastball then? The fact that I'm going to continue to stay on my path and my swing, just let that ball start just a little bit more up the middle of the plate and get those hands inside of it.
Jim Bennett, the pitching coach. As the top of the order is due up for Samurai Japan. And good luck with the top three in this lineup. Nootbaar, Kondo, Ohtani batting a combined .528. They've driven in 16 runs. They have scored 19 and walked 16 times. And again, that's just the top three. Murakami struggling in the cleanup spot. Yoshida in the 5 spot is not struggling. So again, they got a really terrifying lineup. As Nootbaar pops the first pitch up, foul territory into the excite seats of the Tokyo Dome. Somebody made a play. Nice.
That's why you have the helmet and the glove.
The rules are being bent by a particular fan, the helmet. But hey, ball's in glove. Second and third for Nootbaar. He walked and scored in the first. An RBI single in the second came around to score, made it 4-0. And walked again in the fourth. strikes out swinging on a nasty pitch from Liam Doolin.
Doolin bearing down, and for Nootbaar, something new because he has not seen that many right-handed arms lately. He was totally flying open on that one.
Two away. Kondo 2 for 2 with a walk. Scored once and drove in the 5th run of the game. Check swing, tapped the ball foul.
He's not afraid to pitch inside. Now to both righties and lefties.
Last year in the ABL, Doolin pitched 6 2/3 innings, 4 appearances, gave up 1 hit, struck out 7, walked 5, but you could see what's in that right arm. 92, got the bottom of the zone for strike 2.
A lot of times Russ in that right arm and going after and tempering your movement. Which side of the plate should you be working more on depending on how your ball moves naturally?
Kondo dances out of the way. 1 and 2.
He's not a very comfortable at bat. Can you tell? There's nobody digging in.
Big presence. Lost that one a little bit, and the count even.
As you can tell, just on the mechanical side, on the fluidity side, directional side, is trying to find it.
Nakano on third, Nakamura on second. Pitched inside. 3 and 2. Three-two pitch got him. Doolin didn't care about the top of the order's stats. He strikes out Nootbaar and Kondo. Japan did score another. It's now a 7-0 lead. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the World Baseball Classic, Inc. and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Oh, my streak's over. Copyright read it. Botched it.
Over?
Streak's over. Yeah, it's over.
Never over, Stephen. You're just
I
getting
got to
started.
get back at it. There's 2 more games tomorrow.
You're just getting started,
2
my
more
friend.
copyright reads. I can redeem myself. Is it Sensoji Temple, by the way, and those wonderful images in Tokyo. The only venue to host games in all World Baseball Classic tournaments, Tokyo Dome.
First game ever here. First home run ever here.
Keiji Takahashi relieves Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He begins his outing with a strike to Aaron Whitefield. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Team Australia. They're chasing 7 runs.
Try finding the baseball there at 94-95.
Different delivery, different timing, very different than what we saw from Yamamoto. So now the Australian hitters have to adjust. Just inside.
See velocity, that translates into a lot of strikeouts. 17 starts, 113 strikeouts, and 102 2/3 innings pitched. He is built.
Nah, it's Pat Oberg back there. I ain't arguing with Pat.
And if it missed, not by a lot. That ball had a lot of run. Good call.
Let's do a 2-2. Inside, we're full.
So we talk about the hesitation. Takahashi, but how about the back leg in the push-off? The way it all breaks down. Keep an eye on the back leg.
Strike 3. 94 by Whitefield.
It's like he's ballet dancer out there with some serious zip. Look at it on the extreme third base side.
The next batter, first baseman.
And with those trunks, goodness, there's plenty of power.
Did we mention how deep of a pitching staff Japan has? Rickson Wingrove. That's a hack. Strike one.
You mean as to why the biggest question mark coming into the whole pool play was the offense?
Which we've seen is very good. Yeah. It's just a complete team. Rickson Wingrove, slugging prospect in the Philadelphia Phillies organization, plays for the Adelaide Giants in ABL. His last game in the World Baseball Classic, drove in 4, that tied a Team Australia record, the most in a single game in World Baseball Classic history. Luke Hughes, James Beresford had that mark, hits it hard, hangs up for Kondo. 2 down.
Well, there is a swing and miss in Wingrove's game, but throughout this tournament, I must say that he has made some nice adjustments to get to mid-90s against the lefty and hit it that hard. It's got to be feeling good.
The next batter, number 43, Jared Dale.
Jared Dale will pinch hit for Wade.
Liam Dolan, baby. Yeah, let's go! Let's go, baby! That's my brother!
Dale hangs back, hits it right back at Takahashi, recovers to retire Dale at first base. 1, 2, 3. The Aussies go down in the 5th inning. Due up to lead off the Unicorn. Here he comes. Some more changes. Dale came in as a pinch hitter. He stays in the game at shortstop. And Todd Van Steensel will come out of the bullpen. So another pitching change right before Ohtani. Seen it a bunch in 4 games of this World Baseball Classic. Strike 1.
All those no arms have had no effect whatsoever on Shohei's results.
Nope. His first World Baseball Classic home run, a 3-run shot in the first. Ball 1 down. Misses. The chant for Ohtani-san. Don't hesitate to run through. A legend starts now. Go and leap toward your dreams. Stuff he does in a baseball field, most can only dream of.
You know, the home fans that were dreaming of watching Shohei Ohtani and watching Shohei Ohtani put on a show, it's not a dream anymore.
An ankle injury kept him out of the 2017 World Baseball Classic. Here he is in 2023. The 3-1 pitch to him. Strike two. Thirty-two-year-old Van Steensel from Sydney in his second World Baseball Classic. Readies for the payoff. And the 3-2 pitch. Ohtani tips it into the glove, and Van Steensel is a big strikeout.
Saved that baseball.
Anjay Satoria did.
Hey, at the end, it was like, here, hit my best.
Satoria was the starter for the Czech Republic. The Czechs led Japan till the third inning, but the Czech starter, legendary effort. He retired Ohtani twice, including once via the strikeout. Strike one to Murakami. They had the ball authenticated, got a sticker, gave it to Satoria in the dugout, and there were some rumblings in the Czech clubhouse afterwards that Satoria thought about sending it over to the Japanese clubhouse to have Ohtani sign it. The 0-1 misses in, 1-1 now on
here's your
Murakami.
strikeout ball, would you please?
So teammates and coaches got to Anjay. You really gonna do that? Have somebody sign their own strikeout ball? So he couldn't find out officially yet.
I guarantee you, Shohei would have signed it regardless.
Murakami will try and shake out of his struggles in this tournament. Bounce back to 1-1 behind, now 1-2. If you're Hideki Kuriyama, obviously as a team you have rolled through this pool. But given the ABs that you are seeing from your prize third baseman, do you make a lineup change? He was unhappy about hitting sixth during an exhibition.
If you brought that up, good point.
What do you do for the quarterfinals and beyond? 2-2 pitch. Base hit into left field. Second hit for Murakami, another single. And the team just trying to get him to lighten up, Jose, because again, he is putting so much on him. It's almost like the 56 home runs last season are a burden for him in this tournament, because this is different playing for Samurai Japan.
I mean, physically, there's nothing wrong. I mean, he's been working hard. He's been able to at least get into certain hitting counts. Steven, I would do nothing, because I'm looking at the whole group. He is not hurting the ball club offensively.
He's just not rolling yet.
That's it. And at this point, I don't want to mess with his confidence.
Yoshida, he's got a ton of confidence right now. We'll tap her back to Van Steensel. He gathers and throws to first for the second out at the top of the sixth.
My perspective is, okay, you're struggling, and we're struggling offensively because you've been leaving a lot of people on base. Things are flowing around you, meaning the other team is trying to get to you because you're scuffling. It's not the case. You just say, hey, keep playing the game. Perhaps more at bats, interrupted at bats, have come and gone, exhibition games and stopping training, and it's not the easiest of flows coming into this tournament. He is premier talent. Ride it.
And one that figures to eventually be posted to the major leagues. Murakami. He's on second now after Yoshida's ground out. Okamoto will step in, 0 for 2, walked and scored in the 5th. His run made it 7-0. Same score here in the 6th. Skied high to right field. McCardle underneath it. So the 1-out base hit from Murakami doesn't hurt Van Steedsel in Australia. Japan in front of Australia, 7-0 here in a decisive game for Pool B at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. The winner takes the pool. Australia, though, has only had one base runner all night. And it was Robbie Perkins with this base hit back in the 3rd inning.
All because the guy that started the game, Yamamoto, was unhittable. Can we say that? 60 pitches, 42 strikes, and Yamamoto averaged 95.2 on his fastball and topped out at 96.9. 97.
And then he gave way to Keiji Takahashi. Now in his 2nd inning of work. And a 1-2-3-5 that included a strikeout. And for Yamamoto, and just like Roki Sasaki, who started last night, both under the age of 25. Yamamoto, the elder of the two, at 24. He'll turn 25 in August as Perkins fouls one back. Have the attention, of course, of Major League Baseball teams, scouts, fans. Now, there is a growing sense that Yamamoto will be posted this winter. Now, for Roki Sasaki, that timetable a little bit more indefinite. Ground ball to Nakano at short. Perkins hustling down the line. Nice pick at first base by Okamoto. 1 down. The posting system has evolved, Jose, over the years. But really, it's kind of a two-way process now. The player determines, hey, I want to go. I want to try and go to the major leagues. And then the team has a conversation to determine if they want to proceed with the posting process. Major League team will submit blind bids. But it's really now, which is a good thing for the player, they have a say.
Totally.
In Shohei's case anyway, because all the bids were the same, right?
See, Shohei was an international free agent.
Right, and he signed a minor league, deal.
Exactly. So much different than getting to free agency and becoming a player that you post. Shohei's case was because he was an international free agent, they let him pursue his dream before he actually became a free agent. So that's where a big salary and a big bonus that were not necessarily a part of it. Which is now, the talk with Sasaki, for example. If he goes through the free agent process, you're talking about 2027 before he can be posted. So that's why things have varied. And also these out-of-control posting fees were also controlled and reduced because, it was getting to a point where teams were paying as much for the posting as they were paying for the contract of the player just to come over and play. So things had leveled up equally and nicely.
Second hit, second base runner after Boyarski singled. Now at the top of the order with McCardle. McCardle in his first AB of the World Baseball Classic takes strike 2. Was the 2023 ABL Championship Series most valuable player. Hit 3 home runs, drove in 8. The best of 3 series. The Adelaide Giants. He's down on 3 pitches.
Looks a little bit like his manager. Dave Nilsson, that baby face. You're gonna see a lefty. You don't want this one. Especially for your first at bat.
.93 from Takahashi for a second strike.
In this inning, Steven showing us the ability to spin the ball quite nicely. Very consistent with his delivery. Very repeatable, even though it's unusual. Now he has a planted back foot, as opposed to when he's pitching with nobody on.
Brief look at Boyarski for missing down with ball 3. A 25-year-old left-hander comes home. Put in the air to center field. Nootbaar pushed back just in front of the warning track. No worries for the left-hander. The shutout still intact. Back in the Tokyo Dome, the top of the 7th inning. Japan, the road team in the home country. Top 2 teams in Pool B will welcome the top 2 teams in Pool A. Now determining who those will be, that's another story entirely. Italy is up on the Kingdom of the Netherlands 4-1 in that game. Now why we chuckle at that is because of the chaos it would create. As you see it on the left part of the screen, Pool A, if that result holds, all 5 teams will be 2-2. Now the Netherlands wins, it makes things easy. They win the pool. Netherlands and Cuba are the top 2 teams. They'll come to Tokyo Dome. But if Italy wins, everybody's 2-2. Then you have a tiebreaker scenario. And head-to-head will not factor because no team beat all the other teams that they're tied with. So it's going to be decided by runs allowed divided by defensive outs recorded. Basically, it's runs allowed per game, and it's adjusted in case of an early termination rule. Do not hurt yourselves trying to do the math right now. Just let that game play out. But
and just know that at the very end, if this game plays out the way it's going right now, every single out they record counts. Every single run adds.
It changes. It's ever evolving.
Everything changes by the minute.
Just wait for the result. Yeah, Netherlands wins. Simple. Dutch and the Cubans coming to Tokyo. If not, we'll have to talk later. Tetsuro Yamada will lead off against Van Steensel. 7, 8, 9, the Japanese order. Already up 7. That's high, but hooked to foul. On this side, things a little bit more calm. Japan already locked up a spot in the quarterfinals. If they win against Australia, they win the pool outright. Australia, if they come back and beat Japan or beat the Czech Republic tomorrow, they advance to the quarterfinals for the first time. The Czech Republic and Korea still technically alive.
And that is why Mr. Kuriyama is sitting quite nicely right now without having to worry about anything else but finishing the pull.
Japan's supposed to be in this position. Australia, for most outsiders, they were not expected to be here. Called strike 3 by Pat Holberg. Yamada rung up. Van Steensel has his second strikeout.
Painting. He has been doing that since he first came in and got Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch ground ball. Nakano is out number 2. And we talked last time Van Steensel appeared in this World Baseball Classic. That was Saturday. Through 8 pitches for a full inning of work against China. Now he is Australia's foremost Swiftie, Taylor Swift fan. Though apparently Liam Hendricks would challenge that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. After Hendricks was DFA'd by Oakland, his comeback song was Taylor Swift's Bad Blood, a remix with Black Sabbath and Iron Man. You know what? They could share.
I wouldn't argue with Liam Hendricks.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know if Liam has met Taylor Swift as Todd Van Steensel has, so maybe the edge goes to number 21 on the mound right now. One. Two and two. And Steensel, very superstitious. More than just a little stitious. Doesn't step on the baseline. Only picks up the ball from the third base side of the mound. Won't throw a pitch if the umpire is the last to touch the ball. 3 and 2.
He's got the Hunter Pence looks with his pants.
Yeah. He'll drop the ball on the mound before throwing the next pitch. Feels like the ball has been tainted if it's been touched by the umpire. If I drop it, it's his ball again. That's 3-2 spoiled.
And tell me which baseball has not been touched by the umpire.
Oh, right off the mask.
That's going to hurt.
That's taken to right field, looking toward the line. It gets down and it's fair. Nakamura with his second double and third hit of the ball game.
Such a plus and a luxury for any manager to know that his lineup is not top heavy, is not middle heavy, but there's a lot of contributions coming from the guys in the bottom. Pesky guys putting the ball in play, making some things happen.
with the leadoff spot again. Lars Nootbaar. And Steenzel checks on Nakamura and comes home. He slipped off the mound after his first pitch ball. He's all right. Lars wants a home run in the Tokyo Dome. Steenzel.
Okay, so what's the superstition now?
I don't know. For a moment, I thought he was posing to be painted like.
Come on now, Swifty. Can't argue with the fact, Stephen, that he throws strikes.
One strike away from ending the top of the seventh.
Just laying it in there at 94, that last pitch.
Elbow up, drops everything down. Deep breath before the 2-2, down and in. And Steenzel has pitched all over the world, professionally in Australia, United States, the Netherlands, Venezuela, Mexico. Pitching here now in the World Baseball Classic. The 3-2 to Nootbaar. Strike three, swinging. So Doolin and Van Steenzel really have settled things down for Australia. The Aussies still down by 7 as we stretch. The 2023 World Baseball Classic, Pool B. And Team Japan, Korea, Australia, the Czech Republic, and China have gathered in Tokyo to determine who will be the top 2 teams to move on to the quarterfinals, also played here in the Tokyo Dome. Shohei Ohtani out of the Japan bullpen. His numbers last year in NPB, 60 strikeouts in 57 innings of work and a 2.05 ERA. Fastball can tickle 99. It's 97. Strike one to Glendening.
Good day.
Four-seamer, slider, splitter. Arm angle, a little different.
Little different. With that comes the ability to not have to change anything to throw his second or third pitches. He's got the art of getting it done from there. You have the ability to do that. Have some zip on your fastball and not have to vary anything. It's only going to make you tougher at bat.
6-1 Italy leading the Netherlands, bottom 5. Glendening shoots a base hit to right. He has his first hit of the night. Continues a really productive World Baseball Classic.
This kid looks good. I mean, this is going to be such a great platform on the way he's performed against premier pitching in big moments. Take notice, Royals.
That's awesome. Liam Spence receives strike one. A 25-year-old, soon to be 25-year-old, in the Chicago Cubs organization, plays for Adelaide in the ABL. He's a Rookie of the Year in 2023. He's a 5th-round draft pick of the Chicago Cubs. Played in college in the United States for the Tennessee Volunteers. A program that has become a lightning rod in college baseball.
Goodness.
The past couple of seasons, that's for sure.
You notice how things have shifted from the west and heading east, up the middle, Midwest.
Foul back, 1-2. First team all SEC shortstop for the Vols, Southeastern Conference. And in the minors last year in 2022, 62 games, 192, 4 home runs, driven 29. Ground ball. Ota will go to short for 1. And they turn 2.
Ota himself looked like a shortstop, cleanly fielding here and squaring his body up. How quickly he knew exactly who he was working with. Even with a slight hesitation at the shortstop, this makes it all much easier.
Andrew Campbell will pinch hit for Whitefield. Ota had 37 saves last season for Yomiuri. Time for the 3rd most saves in all of NBP. And PB. There's strike 2. Central League Rookie of the Year. Ball 1 skips away.
He also uses that springing action on his back foot, pushing off to begin his delivery. Little Cliff Lee action with that back foot.
1-2 pitch coming to the 31-year-old Brisbane Bandit. That's ball 2. Couple seasons in the Cleveland organization. 2011, 2012. Played in Germany, also team's hitting coach when he was there. Strike 3 looking. A 1-2-3. 7th inning for Taisei Ota. We're done with 7 in the Tokyo Dome. Japan leads by 7. One more day of action in Pool B. And that's tomorrow. Australia and the Czech Republic in a massive game at 12. If the Aussies win, they're on to the quarterfinals for the very first time. Korea and China will wrap up pool play for an off day, and then the quarterfinals kick off on March 15th. One game then, another on the 16th. Japan in cruise control, leading by 7 at the top of the 8th inning. Josh Geyer now pitching for Australia. Campbell entered as a pinch hitter, stays in center field where Aaron Whitefield was. Ryan Battaglia now catching for Robbie Perkins. Dave Nilsson, again, no surprise. The way the game has gone, as it has gone along, he has gotten his regulars out of there, get them some rest before tomorrow's meeting with the Czech Republic.
That game has been circled for a while.
Since Australia's team camp opened up last fall before the ABL season. That's an interesting part. You know, international tournament. Different nations have different seasons. Czech Republic, they're coming off winter. This is their spring training. ABL just wrapped up a season. A fly ball to Campbell. One down.
Think about Dominican, Panama, Colombia, Curacao. And Curacao just participated in the Caribbean Series. Even though you have a better pool of players now for this, it matters to be fresh off your seasons.
This was Shohei Ohtani's spot in the order. He's being pinch hit for Hotaka Yamakawa.
Bring on that big personality. Why not? Shohei's not going to miss it.
Popularity off the charts. Huge hack, strike one.
My favorite leg kick of all time.
One and one. Now,
I can't
Yamakawa.
How is he on time?
Yamakawa's chant for the fans. A little bit of an Okinawan flavor. He is from Okinawa. Hit a homer here. Make it arch high with everyone's wishes on the bat. Hit it far away. Hit that one off his leg. 1 and 2.
I mean, you watch him take BP. You watch him take his soft toss off the netting, and it's like he's swinging a fungo.
Comes out early, does his core exercises on the field for all the fans to enjoy. With the early termination rules, you know, this inning, walk-off scenario, if Japan can score 3. 15 runs after 5, 10 runs after 7. 2 and 2 now. On the hands, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He also does a very unique balancing act on his back foot. And he's taking soft toss.
The 3-2 pitch to left field. The fans wanted it to be a home run, but just F7. Two batters, 2 outs for Geyer. He got the save in the tournament opening victory against Korea. Needed just 14 pitches. Munetaka Murakami collected his second hit of the tournament, a single in the 6th inning, his last time up. Foul ball, strike one.
Some color matching with those uniforms and the hats.
Called ball 3. The first unanimous MVP in NPB since Masahiro Tanaka in 2013. First in the Central League since Sadaharu O. Strike 2.
You've listed a few of those MVPs, Stevens. You know, winning the MVP as a pitcher is nothing strange in the NPB.
Ball 4. 2-out walk by Geyer.
The next batter, left fielder, Masataka Yoshida.
Masataka Yoshida. Back up. Hunting for his first hit of the night. Been terrific in this tournament.
I've got a feeling on him that as he learns major league pitching, as I've seen some of the patterns in his swings and approach on certain counts and situations, he's going to be a hunter. He's going to hunt down some pitches and say, this is the one I want to turn on. This is the one I can go the other way on.
Slice to left field, where Boyarsky is waiting. We're in the middle of the 8th inning in a 7-run game. Taisei Makihara, aka the King of Joker, nicknamed that for his versatility in the field. He's now on right, taking over for Kondo, and Ukyo Shuto replaces Yoshida. Atsuki Yuasa back on the World Baseball Classic bump. First pitch to Rickson Wingrove. Skied to Makihara. One away.
Makihara has a youthful look, like a high school player. Look at that.
This is a 5'6", 160.
The next batter,
Yeah, man, that's
shortstop,
great.
Jared
Give him a
Dale.
chance to be in this unique ball club at home.
Last year he played in the outfield, short, third, second. 7 total errors recorded. Ground ball to the left side. Backhand play made, bouncing throw, not going to get Dale. He's hustling down the line, so an infield single.
It was hit just hard enough and also slow enough to not allow the shortstop to plant and have the best of throws. He goes to the old ways of utilizing the turf, La Davy Concepcion with the Reds. And as it bounces the second time, that takes a little bit out of your speed. Good job on the call there by Cuti Suarez, first base umpire, who is Cuban born actually, and 25 years ago moved to Barcelona, Spain.
We're going to take another look at this.
He's okay. He's fine.
The replay center just outside Tokyo Dome, so it's being done on site. Again, Ramon De Jesus, he is heading that up tonight for this game.
Can this be changed? Is it that clear and conclusive?
His foot's on the bag, ball's not there. I mean, it's got to be in the. just in the. Didn't have to hit the back of the net or the webbing.
7-0.
Making sure.
Oh, it's not you. It's me questioning it.
And 3 of the prior 24 Aussie hitters had reached prior to Dale. Now Battaglia. Just clean up our, because we were talking about the evolution of posting, right? And then we got in a Shohei situation, which was very different. So in the event that I confused anybody bringing up the blind bidding and all that and how it's changed, well, you know, now it's a little different. Every team's got 45 days, negotiate, no agreement, and the player's going back to his NPB club.
If you're interested in that player.
Correct. Right. Anything. If you're interested.
Exactly.
And then if he returns to Japan, he has to stay there until the following offseason. Much different than what you brought up, the massive posting fees that we saw generations past. But Shohei kind of taking things into his own hands, signing
as an international free agent.
As opposed to being posted.
And then take Hideo Nomo's case, which was even further. He retired.
And I think it's worth reminding folks that at the time, that decision made Nomo hated here. Japanese baseball fans hated Hideo Nomo for that move. He wanted to go pitch in the major leagues. Then Nomo Mania happened and changed everything.
You know, and remember, for a couple of years, Darvish kept saying, I just want to stay in my country and play for my country. I'm not going to be exploring playing anywhere else. And as he got exposed to the big leagues in this tournament, the thinking changed. But there was talk about Darvish never leaving the NPB.
He did, and the success he had in NPB has continued to have in Major League Baseball. Now with the San Diego Padres, another foul ball back. So keep it 3-2. So guys like Darvish, Ohtani, Yoshida, those brains are being picked by players like Yoshinobu Yamamoto, tonight's starter, last night's starter, Hiroki Sasaki, Munetaka Murakami, a slugging third baseman, because that's a thought in their minds for their futures. And we were up in the booth before the game. We heard this eruption of noise down the first base side, and that's because you, Darvish, got into the excite seats. I mean, there was a wave of fans crashing behind this initial wall too. Shingo.
He had handpicked somebody to say, I'm going to hand this baseball to this person, and here it is. Everybody respectfully abided.
Boyarski skies one to right field. And Nupar has it. In right center. 2 away. Our producer tonight and today, all day, all week, John Salser, Christian Roberts directing, Courtney Thompson, our technical director, Tim Fryer, our tape producer, Taj, our tech manager, Mika Ito, our production manager, EVS operators who've been phenomenal, Shuji Miyazaki, Yoichi Shimizu, Jordan Rabimbus, Yuko Kobayashi, Craig Norquist, Taichi Ohara, our researchers and statisticians. First pitch ball, Emily Mastroboni, Nate Daggett, and Susan McCormick holding it down for graphics. And Kenji and Haruko up here on the stage. Shingo. Tetsu Sato, our A1. I mean, this up and down, our crew that came in from the U.S., or local crew, it's been really fun working together during this World Baseball Classic, and it ain't done. We got 2 more games tomorrow and then 2 quarterfinals. So. Italy just got out of a bases-loaded jam. There's a ground ball to second to end this inning. So it remains 6-1 Italy in Pool A. 7-0 here after 8. We go to the 9th. Japan inching closer to wrapping up Pool B. 2 fans of the 41,664 in attendance at the Tokyo Dome. Japan leading Australia 7-0. Italy up on Kingdom of the Netherlands 6-1. So again, if Italy wins, all 5 teams of Pool A would be 2-2. Chaos would ensue. Tiebreakers would have to be sorted. Well, we know for certain, Jose Mota, 2 teams are coming from Taichung to Tokyo to take on Japan and TBD. Now, who those teams are, again, not sure yet.
And things started so well for the Netherlands and Kingsley Mullins. But since then, well, some quiet Panama, Italy teams are taking. Cuba got off to a real bad start.
Yeah. In these tournaments, you got to stay in it.
That's all he asked for.
Shugo Maki, the pinch hitter. It's ball 2. Sam Holland did not like the call. Holland threw 8 pitches in the opener against Korea. Walked 1, struck out 1. If I recall correctly, a steely look after the K, too. He was all business.
And make sure we don't confuse you at all. The scoreboard, the way it is, Japan is the visiting team here tonight.
I was getting an Australian dugout if it felt that way. Holland breaks Maki's bat. And that's had some spin on it. Spun away from Spence. He's charging in, so Maki has a base hit.
Hey, a knock is a knock. It's a knock, and they come dressed in different ways, including, as they say, Stephen, the reporters that it's not carrying that way.
Look at that. Look at the spin. Yeah, Jose, to your point, first time we've seen Samurai Japan in the navies. We've seen the home white pinstripes first 3 games.
Shiny whites, by the way.
Oh, yeah. There's a sheen to them. Strike 1 to Yamada. Absolutely epic. That's who got it all started in the first inning with his first World Baseball Classic home run, Shohei Ohtani. After a walk from Nootbaar and a single from Kondo, Shohei went to right field. And the crowd went nuts. They've had control the whole game. The game going in, you knew whoever won it would win Pool B. Just off the plate, nearly strike 3 for Holland, instead 2-2. Holland, a part of that Brisbane Bandits run of 4 consecutive Claxton Shields in ABL. And he gets a strikeout of Yamada.
Pretty good pitch. A little hard to See the ball coming out of that big frame. Strike.
And Australia, despite this result tonight, still has World Baseball Classic history right in front of them. Tomorrow at noon, a date with the Czech Republic, win and advance.
Big difference in the way you manage tomorrow on both ball clubs. There's nothing to save for.
Nope.
It's all hands on deck.
He did go. You know,
And whatever you were saving, well, it's their time now to step up.
Now's the time. Just every time you see Dave Nilsson, you're reminded of what he sacrificed to play for and represent his country. You know, they got him. Burke was with the Milwaukee Brewers, was a Major League All-Star for the very first time in 1999, and a free agent. He walked away from a free agent deal so he could go play in the 2000 Olympics for Australia.
Tip your hat. And he got some experience playing here in Japan.
Yeah.
He played over 800 games in the big leagues. Played against him in AAA. He was one of the toughest guys to defend. He could beat you in so many ways. Power, slapping the ball the other way, bunting. It's whatever situation called for, he could do.
Now kind of rung up by Hoberg, the second out of the top of the ninth inning. Back-to-back Ks for Holland. There are a lot of reasons why he is so revered in his home country. A lot of reasons.
Including investing in the league, purchasing the league.
He saved the ABL. The signatures. Members of Team Australia. And the country's flag that hangs in the dugout. Pinch hitter for Japan, Takumi Oshiro. First pitch, fly ball to right. And Mercado will run it down. So the leadoff base hit for Maki is stranded. The bottom of the ninth, Japan 3 outs away from a Pool B title. The youngest player on Samurai Japan's roster at this World Baseball Classic, 20. Doesn't turn 21 until August. And he's a stud for the Chunichi Dragons.
And just when you think that they just cannot go out there and display another big arm, here it is. They just keep coming.
Nothing but a 29% K rate.
There's 97 for you.
And that K rate was second in NPB, believe it or not. You believe it once you find out that the person in first was Hiroki Sasaki. Alex Hall launched to right field. Makihara just in front of the wall. He watches it go. Another World Baseball Classic home run for Team Australia. This time it's Alex Hall.
He does it against some prime talent in Takahashi. One of those times when, as they celebrate with him, a moment he will never forget, but also you go out there with the idea that let me allow him to provide the power for me. Nice compact swing.
And it's got to feel especially good for Hall just to get him going into tomorrow. He was 1 for 12 before that big swing. The reigning Helms Award winner.
.8 miles per hour on exit velocity.
Bowie tries to do the same thing. He swings through a strike.
Get to the ball, let him provide the power. Nothing in terms of over manufacturing the swing.
Bowie just won the Fans' Choice Award as the top first baseman in ABL this past season. It's been a couple years in the Houston Astros organization, 2014 and 2015. A lot of power in that 6'1" frame. Tried to show it off against 96. Missed it, strike 2. Takahashi bounces back after the home run with a punch out.
Everybody that's gotten on that mound has had the ability to pitch in different levels, tunnels, and able to just finish you out by expanding the zones consistently when they're ahead.
For Japan, and this is their final game of pool play. So off tomorrow on the 13th, another off day on the 14th, and they figure to play the quarterfinal on the 16th, so they'll be off on the 15th as well.
So think about what that does for you in planning your pitching.
So guess who's in line for the quarterfinal?
And then the goal is to get to Miami, which adds another couple of days for you to line things up because that pool started later.
Well, bouncer to first base, Maki, call off Takahashi, step on the bag himself. Now, there is jet lag to contend with. Going back to the United States, that's a whole different story than coming here. Anybody who's made the trip, that's what they've said. Same thing.
Andrew Campbell.
So adjusting in a short window will be difficult should Japan make it. It's not a given. Remember, it's single elimination now in quarterfinals. A little different in this World Baseball Classic with the addition of 4 teams. So Japan could go 4-0 in Pool B, but if they drop the game on the 16th, that's it. Starting Shohei Ohtani. It balances that skill. But
very quickly.
All that to say, everyone who's eligible and rested would be available for that game because it's win or go home once you get to the quarters.
And what they have coming out of that bullpen, in multi-inning guys and options, it's all about power. And that's all we heard. Samurai Japan's pitching, and we have seen it. They are absolutely dominating.
What we've also seen, though, it's not just it's different power, different looks, arm slots, deliveries, timing mechanisms. I mean, that is a complete staff. Strike 2.
And they're strike throwers. They missed down a couple of times with some splitters, and they have the ability in the stuff, obviously.
Hideki Kuriyama. Manager watching Japan. 1 strike away. That's 3. And that's 4 wins for Japan in Pool B. The top team in their pool, the 2023 World Baseball Classic.
Unquestionable talent, drive, passion, and for sure, every single of their talents has been exposed here, and there's a reason why they were able to dominate all the way through. I mean, it's remarkable the way they prepared, finish, feeding off the home crowd, the energy, and for sure, all the talent that they have has gotten them where they're at right now.
Kuriyama-san, he told us before the game, God, he's nervous right before the games. He can exhale now. Help guide his team to a 4-0 mark on home soil. They had already locked up a spot in the quarterfinals thanks to the Czech Republic's loss earlier today. Now, by beating Australia, they assume Pool B's crown. Who they play in the quarterfinals, that is still to be determined. The top 2 teams from Taichung on the left side of your screen will come to Tokyo, but because of the chaos that we have in that pool, we don't yet know who will make the flight. Italy is leading the Netherlands right now, so there's a strong chance all 5 finish at 2-2. That'll get sorted out in the hours to come. We'll have the update for you when we return tomorrow at noon. Australia and the Czech Republic. If the Aussies win, they join Japan in the quarterfinals representing Pool B. They fall tonight 7-1. For Jose Mota and our terrific crew, I'm Stephen Nelson. Thanks for watching as Samurai Japan takes the crown in Pool B.